All right, Capricorn, welcome to your weekly horoscope for March 15th to the 21st. My name is Athen. So another interesting week of the month of March. We've got the solar eclipse taking place in Pisces, which is your third house, and we've got the Uranus Pluto square going exact on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time period. And your ruler, Saturn, is stationed in the sky. So especially for everybody, it's a week of reflection. But I would say especially for you because your ruler is stopped in the sky. So this is a week where it's not about making any major decisions. It's about reflecting. It's about going within, thinking about things, specifically around the things and structures you've built in regards to your 11th house, which is your network circles or your groups, your humanitarian things if you're involved with anything like that, your community, the enjoyment of your work, what you derive from your work, the income you derive from your work, the satisfaction you derive from your work. All these things are 11th house. So with Saturn, your ruler recently went into your 11th towards the tail end of last year. So there's been structures being built here. There's systems being built in that area. So now for the next 5 to 6 months, you want to reflect on these 11th house matters. How are you enjoying your work? Are you, satisfied with what you're giving, what you're contributing, whether it's through work or through service or, humanitarian stuff? Are you happy with the structures you built around your network circles? These types of things. So whatever it is for you personally, now with Saturn in the sky, he's paused. So reflect on it, especially this week in particular. Also reflect on the third house, which is how you're thinking, your communication abilities, your teaching styles if you're teaching, your learning styles if you're learning. We always are, and we always are teaching too. We have the solar eclipse taking place in that third house on Friday. But let's paint the picture. So the Saturday leading into this week, we had the sun going into Pisces, your third house. So I think there's definitely an illumination of your mind, of your communication abilities. I think you're aware more about these things, which are sort of unconscious for you in many ways because Pisces rules your third house. And with Saturn, again, that pause and reflection. So leading into this week, there is that Piscean energy of going with the flow, making sure you get enough rest and relaxation, and again, pausing a little bit. Sunday and Monday, when Mercury squares up to your ruler Saturn, there is this making sure that we're integrated. And this is making sure we're integrated with your sense of self-worth. You guys had a new moon in your second house during the last lunar cycle. So this had to do with your income. It had to do with abundance. It had to do with your sense of self-worth, sense of self-value, your reliability, self-reliability, your ability to take care of your material needs, your material satisfactions in life. So that's great, but we're releasing the cycle this week because we're releasing the cycle in order to make way for the new beginnings, which are shaping up in your third house, you see. So there's just an integration, and there's just a little bit of this clunky energy with these two planets. Make sure you're not thinking too pessimistically about those second house matters. Make sure that you are seeing it with a cold eye, real eye, and make sure you're putting in whatever type of discipline that needs to be made in that second house as well, and that's going to be getting the most out of it. Not in the too much extreme sense, because with the square, we want to be careful not to go too extreme, not to be too realistic to where it becomes like the mountain is on top of us. And we don't want to be unrealistic, of course, either, or not realistic enough where we're just like, yeah, whatever, and not taking that responsibility. So finding that middle path, which is just that realistic viewpoint in terms of that second house, you see. That's Sunday and Monday. Monday and Tuesday, Uranus squares up to Pluto exact. Pluto's been transiting your 12th house. I've been talking about this a lot. Pluto's been restructuring your spirituality, changes there, making sure you get enough rest, relaxation, making sure you're listening to your intuition. So that's been integrating with all these changes, with you becoming free with your self-expression, with your communications, with your teaching, writing, sharing, whatever it is you might be doing in that third house. Uranus has been transiting that. So the key here is to reflect. This is the energy of the week. It's introverted. So reflecting on those spiritual matters too. Are you getting enough rest, relaxation? Is there presence in your day? Are you getting that 12th house stuff? And is there freedom, again, in your teaching, learning, sharing, communicating? Reflecting on these things, I think, is going to be the best utilization of this energy. Tuesday, Wednesday, Mercury goes over Neptune in your second house. So this is where there is an intuition, again, coming out, but it's coming out through that second house. Finances, self-abundance, self-reliance, the simple pleasures of life. See, with Neptune here, you guys are learning to go with the flow with these things. And so with Mercury, it's an understanding. Mercury's the messenger, but it's not a rational understanding. It's an intuitive understanding. So Tuesday, Wednesday, make sure you go with the flow. Ease up a little bit with those second house matters and just listen. Listen. Friday, we've got the solar eclipse in that third house. New beginnings for the next 6 months for you guys, involving your teaching, writing, sharing, communicating, learning, whatever it is you're involved with in that third house. Could also be siblings too. That's another third house thing. So very exciting, but it's going to come from introverted first. That's usually the case anyways. Things are manifestation of our internal state. Of course, we want to take action, but this isn't the active time. The lunar cycle is reflection, being very clear about how you're communicating, teaching, all those third house things. Reflect on them. And then as the lunar energy starts to build momentum next week and for the next few months for the solar cycle, it'll become much more extroverted and out into the open. Okay. Now the moon's going to be in Pisces Saturday and Sunday, so if you want to reflect Saturday and Sunday as well and get some relaxation, I think that'll be the case for all of us. Or maybe do some things that put you into that meditative state that is reading or writing, teaching, journaling, because that moon is going to be in your third house. But in either case, reflection nonetheless. All right, Capricorn, have a great week. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Wishing you the best, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.